No clearing.
Leather gloves, slapping hands, popcorn and peanuts. We're working the stands, pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall. Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Live. Live.
Hey, you know what? You don't get to talk because you talked.
I didn't talk.
You did too.
Long Island Television at Paradise. I didn't say a word. Paradise. Butch doesn't want me to talk during the opening. Rich, did you hear me talking?
He doesn't want you to talk through the whole show.
We are broadcasting from Massapequa, New York. Is the studio. Bobby's back in the studio. That's Butch Seltzer. He's the producer of the show. He's the only producer you see more than Gelman.
Yeah. Okay. Goodbye.
And we have Rich Walker co-hosting tonight. How lucky are we to have Rich Walker? Rich and I go back many, many years when my camera used to work. Hold on, let me just clean the lens. I'm a little foggy here. I'm going to work with my light. Maybe if I get closer. So we're excited to have we have Steiner on tonight. We're talking sports. We're talking a live auction he's having. We also, Rich, have an interesting guest on tonight.
Yeah.
I know that we sent you the guests and the information, and you did a lot of research, but I'm just going to repeat it.
Yeah.
We have on an interesting guest. Rich, watch out!
What?
There's a gorilla right next to you. I got this guy. Look, I got this guy.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Mr. Met.
Mr. Met.
We have on a guest. It's a small fire department. Oh, Butch is going to kill me. I don't know if it's in Alabama now. I don't remember what state it's in. Small, tiny fire department. They had no truck.
Wow.
Okay. They responded to
the only bicycle fire department.
Tennessee, they had they responded to the fire, I think, with their cars and hoses. Now, if you know anything about fighting a fire, you can't hook a hose line directly up to a fire hydrant and successfully fight a fire because there's no pressure. All right?
Oh,
no pressure coming.
I didn't know that. So the truck gives you the pressure.
That's what the fire engine does. The engine, not the truck. There's two different things. Did you know that? There's an engine and a truck. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. And then the engine is the one that stretches the hose and puts the pressure and fights the fire. And the truck usually are the guys that search for people, break down the doors, throw up the ladders. So they do that side of it. All right. I was in a truck. I was afraid of heights, and I was in a truck where I was in a 95-foot tower ladder.
What?
The tallest tower ladder in the city they put me in because they knew I was afraid of heights.
Like in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World where they're all spinning on the top of it?
Very similar. Very similar. I was afraid of heights when I got on the job, and the first day in the fire academy, they picked these guys out because what they make you do is climb a ladder to the fourth floor, like one of the first days. And it took me forever to climb the ladder because I was afraid of heights. So they go, Larocchia! Yes, sir! You're out here every lunch. You have 5 minutes to eat lunch. You're out here climbing ladders. So for weeks, climbing ladders. And then by the time I left the academy, I wasn't the slowest. I wasn't the fastest, but I wasn't the slowest.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my biggest accomplishment of being in the fire academy is overcoming my fear of heights.
Can you overcome your fear of heights?
Well, no, but I don't think so. But what I did was when, I had to go in the bucket, right? They used to call them cherry pickers, the bucket. Yeah. So that would go up, 9 stories. Okay. So when anybody had to get in the bucket, I didn't want everybody to know I was afraid of heights. And the guys that knew I was afraid of heights, I didn't want them to think I was copping out. So when they said, "Hey, we need somebody to go in the bucket," every friggin' time I'm raising my hand like an idiot. Like, all right, every other time, right? Every other time.
Right.
But Rich, you would love this. Picture this: fire coming out of 5 windows.
Yeah.
5th floor. You're up in this bucket with a big stang, which is a big solid hose coming out the front with a hand. And
With that nozzle, you turn.
Yeah, big that. And you're going from window to window fighting this fire with. You can move the. I tell you, when you're up against the building, fun. And in the winter, now the water's coming back. You have all those icicles hanging from you, whatever. But once I had to go down to Battery Park. You know what Battery Park is in Lower Manhattan?
Yeah, I know it.
The flag got stuck, and they needed a towel out of it to get the flag down. Richie, nothing next to me, nothing in front of me. On my tippy toes with a hook, 9 stories in the air. The bucket's going.
No.
That was scary, but I did it.
Well, let me tell you this. Years ago, about 5 years ago, we went with the kids to those tree adventure things in like the Poconos with the zip lining. But it's an obstacle course up there.
Yeah.
I made it to the first tree, which was only about 8 feet high, and I hugged it, and they had to come up and get me down. I had to back out. I had people who had to go around me because I was petrified.
In front of your kids.
They were way ahead. They were gone.
Thank
but
God.
I couldn't. My heart was pounding through my chest. I'm sweating. No heights are no good for me.
You know where I also got scared, and I only did it once, I think, riding a horse.
Oh, no. Yeah, we did that too.
Have you ever been up on a horse?
I have, and it's scary. We had one that was walking on the side of a mountain, and his foot kept slipping off the edge like in mud.
Oh, my
That's
daughter,
true.
I said, "Oh, I'll take you horseback riding," and there was 2 other ladies. And I got up on the horse. Now that's a big animal. Oh my God, they're horses. And we start going. I'm like, oh no. I'm saying, Livia, I don't like this, Liv. And the lady's going, come on, John. And these were 2 not elderly women, they're probably in their late 40s, early 50s, and they're up there having a ball. And my daughter, she must have been 10 years old. She's having a ball, and I'm like crying, like, could you bring me back? The guy's like, I can't bring one person back. Please, just bring me. The whole time I cried, like about an hour.
It's so big on the ground. I can't even walk over to its face. It's very scary. Like the head is so big. Like, wow.
I made a mistake.
I don't like big things or heights. No good.
I don't have a big thing, and I don't like heights. I made a mistake today. Tell me
what happened.
Tell me if you could tell me the mistake I made. I'm going to tell you what I did.
Yeah.
Well, painted my daughter's room. My other daughter moved out with a boyfriend. They were living in that room. Now we just gutted it. We built a new closet. Made it nice, a little nicer, and painted or whatever.
Right.
So we're painting. So I bought the paint the other day, and my wife's like, the paint is too light. I said, you guys picked out the paint. So I said, you know what? I could probably bring it back and have them darken it up a little. Right?
Yeah.
So I go back with Livy, and I have the girl, she darkens it up, and I go, put a little more black in. Let's make it dark. Put a little of this, make it a little dark. Oh, that looks good. And then I go home, and I'm like, what if I need 2 cans of paint? What did I do? I made a paint that can't be duplicated. Because she didn't go according to the formula. She just listed, add a little more black. Now what if we need another can? I can't duplicate that.
You can.
How?
Bring a paint, a sample like on the stick, on the mixing stick.
Yeah.
And they put it up against a computer, and it matches it perfect.
I don't know if Ace has that kind of computer, to be honest. I don't think Ace Hardware has that. Because what
Home Depot does.
Home Depot does, but what Ace did was the girl behind the counter, right? She had little jars of paint, and then she would add it, then stir
it by eye, right?
And then she would take a bite of a sandwich, and then she would add some. So I don't know if Aces is
Some painters can do that by eye. Right spot on. It'll match.
no way.
Yeah. We had a painter did that. We had a carpet in a bathroom, a pink carpet, like a peach. And we want the walls the same color. He did the same exact color just by mixing it with like a.
I could see that. But if you put two different paints right next to each other, well, anyway, the bottom line is I only think I'm going to need a gallon, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of? I have a lot of good topics to discuss, and you know me, I'm very ADD. What do you think of squirrels? Do they scare you?
I have a squirrel story.
I'd like to hear it, and I'll give you mine.
Well, we have a squirrel we feed at our back door here, and I always give him the noodles from the Chinese food. You know the bag of noodles they give you?
Okay.
The hard noodles. But just a couple months ago, I go out the back door, and there's I live in a condo community. There's an exterminator who's got my squirrel in its cage.
No.
And he's walking over. I go, "You're not going anywhere with that squirrel. That's my squirrel." He goes, I go, "What?" First of all, he wasn't even allowed in the condo. It has to be brought in by the board, has to hire an outside
who called them?
Yeah. So it was a big to do, but we got our squirrel back, and he's still running around out there. So that's my squirrel story.
Oh, that's all talk. Okay, so I go to the park today with Vincent, my grandson, and it's covered with snow, but I wanted to get him out of the house. You know, I just wanted him to run and get out because he's nuts. He's bouncing off the wall.
High strung.
Oh, he's out of his mind, right? So I get him down the park, and I say, we're going to run it. We just run, right? So we go right to the park, but it's still covered with snow. They're shoveling the basketball courts, but not the playground. There's two guys shoveling the basketball courts because a lot of people are going to play basketball today, right?
Right.
I'm walking on the snow, right? Now I'm looking at them, I'm going, guys, big game? And they're looking at me, huh? So we walk in there. There's a squirrel in the tree with a juice box like this. Almost looks like he's drinking the juice box. So Vincent laughs and I laugh and we go over to the thing. Now the squirrel follows us, right? And then there was another lady with two girls. He goes over to her bag where she had treats. He's nibbling on the bag, right? So now we're trying to play. Now he's going underneath the way they're playing. So he's getting nervous. So I'm taking snowballs and throwing him, and he's not moving. I'm not hitting him. I'm not mean, but I'm hitting it, throwing it, and he's not moving. So the lady goes, I'm going to leave. So then it was just Vincent and I and the squirrel. And I looked at Vincent and I said, let's run. Let's get out of here. He goes, why, Grandbabs? I go, I don't like that squirrel. He goes, no, he's okay. He goes, he's going to bite you. Let's get out of here. And then he left. Then we left. I had to scare the kid. And he's like,
maybe he just wanted the juice box from Vincent.
He only drinks water. He doesn't drink any soda juice.
Yeah.
Isn't that good?
It is good. He should have some orange juice, maybe some apple juice. No,
a lot of sugar in that stuff. If you're not going to drink it,
yeah.
I wanted to thank you for comics. We had comics from around the world on Sunday. Sunday night.
A lot of fun. Yeah, it's great.
We had comics from all over the world. Right.
The UK. We had
UK. That's it. That's it.
So it wasn't really around the world. It may be on the other side of the world.
It sounds big, doesn't it? We had comics from around the world.
Yeah, comics from the UK, Bayshore.
The UK, Bayshore, and Bayside.
The Park. We were all over.
New York City. Bayville, Bayside, and Bayshore.
Yeah, that was fun. And he said we're across the pond, the guy from England, which is funny, right?
Yep. So what we're going to do, Rich, we're going to go to our first commercial break.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back with the chief from the fire department.
All right.
We'll be right back.
We got some comments, too, to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Hi, I'm Michael Barish, managing partner of Barish, McGarry, Salzman, and Penson. We are honored to represent over 11,000 people in the 9/11 community. The people who work at my law firm can really relate to what the 9/11 community is going through because they're going through it too.
So my dad's name was Billy Gormley, and he was a fireman on 9/11.
My father also was a firefighter, and he did report down there as well on 9/11.
My dad, Alan, worked on the 104th floor of the second tower. He was an IT technician.
My father was a fire inspector.
My husband, his name is David Velez. He was a detective with the NYPD, and if I can help anybody that is going through exactly what I have gone through for the last 17, 18 years and make their life just a little bit better, then you know what? I love coming to work every single day.
You know, this is a genuine office. Like, people are really sincere.
The best part of my job is the clients. Every once in a while, you'll hear in their voice how grateful they are for the work that we do.
We take this personally, and we will not rest unless we help everybody we can before this victim compensation fund ends in 2 years. And we will be fighting to get this thing extended past 2020, because cancer isn't going to stop afflicting the 9/11 community.
We are back with Chief Dunshee from Rugby, Tennessee. Chief, what was the name of the fire department again? Clear
Fort Volunteer Fire Department.
Clear Fort Fire. Clear Fort.
Clear Fork.
Fork. I got you. Clear Fork. Before we get into, because it's such an interesting story. What is the animal of the animal of choice out there? What is, like, you know, the annoying most animal you guys have out there? Tennessee. Is it a squirrel? Is it a possum?
No, wild hogs.
Wild hogs. Oh my God! I know two of those. Right, Richie? Should we name them? They're comics. No, I'm kidding. Right. So wild hogs, are they big like pigs and hogs?
Yeah, they're big.
Wow.
I once can I say one thing on that?
Yeah.
I was coming home from a show in Pennsylvania, and I hit one with my car, and I get out of the car, and it's like in the street, like shaking, and I'm looking at my wife's yelling at me, get in the car, get in the car. The next day, I just left it, you know, in the middle of nowhere. And the next day at my door in New York is the Pennsylvania Gaming Commission looking to fine me $1,000 for leaving the life endangerment of an animal on the side of the road.
Is that true? Is that true?
Yeah. The next day they were at my door.
Wow. Interesting. So, Chief.
You're not going to ask me how they knew?
How did they know, Rich?
The pig squealed. Sorry about that, Deputy Chief.
You're all right. You're all right. I'm going to say something else, but that's okay.
What were you going to say?
You left your plate behind.
What?
You left your plate behind.
You left your plate behind.
Right.
All right. So, Chief, so you're out here now. Now, where are you originally from? Are you from the area?
No, I'm from New Hampshire.
You're from New Hampshire. And what did you do in New Hampshire?
Professional firefighter.
A professional firefighter.
Yeah.
As opposed to, Rich, you know, an amateur firefighter. Those are the guys that just go out with their own hoses and try to find fires.
Yeah, with no drugs. Yeah.
Professional firefighter. So you retire. You want the simple life. You want to go to Tennessee and put your feet up, hunt wild hogs, relax, right?
Yep.
And what happens?
They've been having a lot of fires down here. And it seems like everything's burning to the ground. So one of the recent fires I went to see if they needed some refreshments and some water, and I was asked, hey, would you like to come help us out? And I was like, well, I don't know. I'm kind of liking just hanging out.
Right.
I like that. Would you like some refreshments, water? And they're like, no, we need a truck.
Exactly.
Grab a hose. So now tell us about this truck situation. How did this come about?
Yeah. Well, like you said, they hooked 2.5-inch lines to a fire hydrant and ran them up to the house, and they put 2.5 inches on a 2.5, and they were trying to fight the fire with 2 little hoses, and that wasn't working at all.
No.
So the trucks they had was a 76 and a 78, and neither one of them were running. So I just reached out to a bunch of people and started calling, and That's how it ended up.
You know who's good for that? Oh God, I'm gonna forget the name of the fund now. The guy died on 9/11. Oh, I'll think of it later. They supply a lot of equipment to different fire departments who need it through kind of finding who's giving it up and who's got some. So how did they line this up with Comac? Because Comac Long Island is the one that supplied the truck, right?
Yes. Well, I called Jim from Signal 5.
Okay.
And we were just going to, because we run on donations for the most part. And I was just out there looking for trucks all over the country. And then Jim said that he might have a truck that we could get a hold of for fairly cheap. And then, so we were working on trying to find money for that. And people were sending in donations and stuff. So then Jim got a hold of the Comac guys, and then that's how it pretty much started. So,
and that's right by us. That's right by Rich and I out here in Long Island.
Yep, I've even performed there. So you got a good deal. The fire department got a good deal.
Yeah, they pretty much they were going to give it to us, but because of the laws and regulations, they had to charge us something.
Right.
The truck was originally around $12,000, and then we ended up paying and it pretty much just turned out to be lawyers' fees so they could do the paperwork and everything else. It was like $1,000 for the truck, and then we paid for the shipping on a tractor trailer down.
Wouldn't it be hysterical if you got the truck, you're like, it's not the color we wanted.
Yeah.
Hey guys, you know
it could have been pink. I wouldn't have cared.
That's true.
The only bad part is, I'm sorry, the name of your town again has a Comac fire department truck. Like they couldn't afford to change the lettering.
Hey, you want to hear, Chief? I went to California to teach, and they had a truck out there, and on the side of the truck it said, "In memory of those lost from my firehouse, Squad 288 FDNY hazmat." I think it had both, and they said to me, we can't tell you how many times people come up to us and ask what a New York City fire truck is doing out in California, wherever I was. But that was really cool that I was out there teaching, and they were the ones that had donated a bench to a firehouse. Really cool.
That was meant to be.
So Rich and I want to do something for the department. Rich is going to work with Laughter Saves Lives and myself.
Yeah.
We said we want to do a comedy show online where you guys sell tickets. Do you think that would work?
So let me ask my cohorts here. My wing person is right next to me. So
who's the wing person? Bring her in.
What's that?
Bring her in.
Bring her in.
The decision maker? The decision maker? And this is...
Hi, I'm Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
I'm the secretary and treasurer.
Yeah. Now, how many members are there in the department?
6.
6 total members.
6 total.
And can you give me a rough idea of the population you serve?
About 2 square miles and 82 or 83 permanent residents, and then we have summer people that come in.
So it's a summer town? Like a Hamptons here?
No, it's a lot of hiking trails and so it's
on the southern end of the Big South Fork National Park and Recreation River area.
Right.
And it's a historic where the station is located is right on the outskirts of a historic town. It was founded in like the late 1800s as a utopia for like the second sons of English aristocrats. So anyway, so it's pretty neat. I mean, you can look it up online. It's historic Rugby. We have a lot of Victorian houses, a lot of old houses and stuff. So that's one of the reasons why the neighborhood was really excited when Steve came on, and that I decided to participate because they have a lot of historic value here. And so we really needed the knowledge and experience to come in and help out. So
you need knowledge and experience. And they said to Steve, "Do you know anybody with knowledge and experience? Can you find me?"
That was actually me that said, "Oh, hey, hi, do you want to come help us?"
Yeah.
So now, what would it cost to get the Laughter Saves Lives logo on the side of that truck? That would be pretty cool, right, Rich? Here comes the Lives Fire Department,
and all 6 houses can see it.
What can we do? So, what can we do on the comedy show? Here's what we're gonna do. We recorded a show the other night. So, what we're gonna do is, because this is simple. What we're gonna do is, you guys are gonna do an intro with me to the show. You're gonna say, I'm gonna say, hey guys. Well, welcome to Laughter Saves Lives. We're going to have a great time with the show. Tell us about your department. Tell us what you do. Are you ready for a comedy show? And then we have the show already recorded. So I don't have to pay any more studio time. I'll pay the comics maybe a little more depending on how much you raise. So there is no skin in the game. Like, you don't have to lay out a dime.
All you have to do is cover the attorney fees.
That's it.
And the shipping fees, right?
Yes.
And the shipping, yeah.
And sell tickets. That's all you gotta do is try to sell tickets. Now I have to tell you that the show, we did perform the show nude. There was a lot of nudity, but what do you want for free? What do you guys want for free, right? It's a free show.
Yeah, it's free.
So, you don't get clothing for free.
Yeah, you could do a lot of this when people are watching. Hold on, wait, let me. All right. So I think that would be, yeah, we do a lot of that. So what can we raise money for? I spoke to Steve about this. When I go to my people, my followers, and I go, we're gonna buy a hose. You know, it's something they can picture. It's a small fire. So what can we buy? I was thinking a porta potty, but Butch, because you don't have any place to go to the bathroom when you get to the fire station.
No,
they need toilet paper in the station.
Well, let's start.
Like gold.
I agree, Rich. Let's start small.
One roll.
One roll.
Some toilet paper.
And can you have like the Laughter Saves Lives emblem printed on that toilet paper so that we can use it and think of you guys, you know?
Well, every time you wipe, yes. Thanks, Laughter Saves Lives.
I bet you we can do that. I bet you we can do that. But let's do more. Let's do more.
Hey, John, you got something to sell after shows now. Laughter Saves Lives toilet paper.
That would sell.
Right, if the show is terrible, then they could use it.
Get me shirt sizes of every one of you volunteers, including you two, and we will send you Laughter Saves Lives and FDNY memorial shirts from my firehouse. So that will start there. But we got to buy something. What can we buy for you guys raising this money? What do you need?
I think we're still in a desperate search for SCBAs. That's the SCBAs that we have are 40 plus years old. So
that's no good.
No.
What does an SCBA go for?
They're like $1,600 a piece.
16 a piece.
Yeah.
A piece. All right. So we
got a question. I have one more. What is an SCBA?
SCBA, self-contained
breathing apparatus.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not a
okay. The ones we have are the old Scots, and they got the old elephant trunk on them. That's how old they are.
Oh, wow.
All right, so let's need new ones. Let's start to work on getting masks. So let's start with this comedy show and see if we can buy some masks. This is going to be cool, Rich.
I like it.
So is there anything else that you guys want to say to us before we go to the next commercial break?
We just got to thank everybody for their support, and the brothers from Comac and everybody that has reached out to us, and it's the brotherhood that nobody realizes what it's all about. So
right.
And I'm involved in that, even though I'm not really a brother, but
you know your sister.
Your
sister. And please tell me one of you played the guitar.
I do.
Okay, good. I thought you were just throwing those up there like.
No, that's me.
All right.
Yeah. All right. You got two guitars and a bong.
No, it's a Native American flute.
Oh.
All right. So we're gonna say goodbye to Steve and
Jackie.
Jackie. Sorry, Jackie. I'm terrible with names.
No, you're good.
We're gonna come back in a few weeks. We'll talk about that show during the week. We'll send you everything you need. We'll make up a flyer. We're gonna have a ball. So nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
We'll talk
Great job.
We'll talk to you soon. Let's go to the next commercial break, which is for it's the next commercial. Life Fact, probably. Life Fact.
When someone is choking, brain damage can occur after just 4 minutes. Did you know every 5 days a child dies because of a choking accident?
My name is Art Lee. I invented LifeVac to protect my family. LifeVac is an easy-to-use suction device with a special one-way valve to help save a choking victim.
I care for my dad who's prone to choking. Having LifeVac in my home gives me peace of mind.
Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Daddy. Call 1-877-LifeVac or visit lifevac.net.
I forgot the page down again. We're going to bring on Brandon Steiner. Hello, Brandon, our friend. Oh, he dropped his phone. Hello, my handsome friend. How are you?
What's happening? How you guys doing?
All right.
This is your second time on our big show.
I thought it was the third.
This is your third time on our show.
I mean,
I was on the last one with him, right, Brandon?
Here's my question I want to ask you guys. I got to skip the potatoes and get right to the meat.
Go.
So I was thinking about this the other day about a fourth book. You know, I've written 3 books, and do you think it's possible? I want to write a book living in a firehouse.
Yes.
I want to live in a firehouse for 96 hours, straight through, sleep there, hang. But there would be like 2 shifts, basically. Meet a whole bunch of the guys. I really want to try to do it in New York because the shenanigans, all the insanity, I don't think people really know what goes on in a firehouse in a serious way. I'm not looking to get dirt or, you know, it's a positive book, but I don't know if people realize how much danger and what goes into a day in a firehouse.
Well, let me say this, Brandon. First of all, yes, it depends on where you want to ride. You want to ride somewhere where it's really busy.
Yes.
There are certain fire departments that are allowed to work 3 days in a row. Right. But they're not running around like crazy, whereas the FDNY can only work 24 hours in a row. So I would recommend you staying there for a few days because you get to see the different personalities and the different guys. And half the stuff you're not going to be allowed to talk about or write in the book probably. What goes on there stays there. But there's a lot of stuff you will be able to talk about. You'd have a ball. You'd have a great time.
I just wonder if the fire department, I put in a request with a friend of mine to talk with the fire chief. I wonder if he's going to be open to allowing it to happen.
Well, you have to go through headquarters with the FDNY.
100%,
is very strict. But any help I can give you, I still have a few contacts.
I'll keep you in the loop.
We can get you 96 hours with the homeless in Penn Station.
I've had a couple of friends literally go to Detroit. One guy went to Detroit with no money and lived homeless for a week to see what it was like.
Wow.
And wrote part of his book about the experience and the friends he made and a little bit from that perspective of what it's like and how you become homeless. Because, you know, a lot of people think that these people are bad people or stupid, but it's amazing how a really good, solid person can get lost and all of a sudden they're on the street. And it's amazing how we look out for each other and some of the empathy that we don't give homeless people. But it was interesting. Joe Sweeney was his name, and he's written a couple of really good books, Joe, and that was in his last book. Good.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So one of the reasons we want you to talk about your event coming up, but quickly, with the baseball season, are you tuned in? Are you to anybody, any player, and any official for the upcoming season down there at spring training?
Well, I mean, I think, I think that the Yankees are under a lot of pressure, which is amazing. Like, a lot of these guys, when you think about it, they've won 100 games 2 years in a row. This is a very, very solid, strong run they're on. And people are mad at the Yankees. I think they're disappointed. I think they feel like, this team should have gone to the World Series. And there's a high expectation level. And I think there's a lot of pressure. I think they're in the wrong position. Like they become the favorite again. And you always want to be the underdog. And I think they have a good enough team to get there. But listen, the Dodgers are loaded. I think that Tampa Bay is coming back with, again, a very solid, practical, fundamental team. You have competition. You're not going to probably win 100 games this year. But
which is good for baseball.
Yeah.
But don't you think with the whole COVID situation and they're starting to put people in the stands that a lot of the people are just happy to go to a game, to see people in the stands again.
I agree. So I'm excited about the baseball season. I feel like I've been watching basketball my whole life now. Like it just seems like the basketball season never ended.
Yeah.
It's just from one season to the next, and there's so many games on. It's insane.
Yeah. Did you see this with the Rich? You're going to kick out of this with the Marlins. They came out with their how many people they're going to let in the stadium? No more than 10,000. You know what the average crowd was last year?
3.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, they benefited from virus. I mean, they benefited with closing the stadium down. They actually, saved money.
Yeah,
which is very sad. But I think they'll draw a little better. That they made the playoffs last year. Jeter's got a lot of young kids down there.
Yeah.
I think the National League East is going to be the most exciting division because really all those teams are pretty good. Philly are competitive, and obviously Atlanta is the front runner there. And you really can't count out the Marlins, after their run. They have young kids.
What about my Mets?
Well, I think the Mets obviously are now going to be a very serious competition for the Braves. I mean, they should win 90 games.
Yeah.
And maybe more if they can get the right chemistry and not, blow themselves up like they always do. I think it'll be good for baseball to have the Yankees and Mets both competing in a playoff spot. We haven't had that in a while, and it's good for baseball. But I think that, I think Steve Cohen's got a bunch of stuff to get in order. If everything doesn't work out this year, which it may or may not, if I were Met fans, I would just thrive on the progress because he will figure it out. That's what guys like that do.
Yep.
And I hope that the Yankees can get outside of the expectation level. I mean, I'm worried about Sanchez. I'm worried about Judge staying healthy. These guys just haven't been healthy. And, Stanton, those are 3 main pieces.
Richie, are you a baseball fan, Richie?
A
little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I used to never have time to follow, But
did you know any of the names that he mentioned? Any of those players?
Yeah, I heard of Derek Jeter.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Jeter and the Marlins. But that's all right. Listen,
I wouldn't know one sports celebrity if it wasn't for Dancing with the Stars. That's how.
So tell us, Brandon, about what you got going on here with this auction.
Well, I got a bunch of stuff that I'm about to announce this month. I'm going to have to come back on the show.
Anything Tiger Woods?
Time. We don't prey on the injured and when people are down.
No, I didn't say that. I said
I don't actually. And he's as a collectability, he hasn't been on a very high level lately. Right. He really still hasn't rebounded, even though his game is somewhat rebounded. From a collectability, he really hasn't. He hasn't been that name that he used to be. So it's interesting. Like, it'll be interesting to see really what happened there today. Somehow.
What did golfers sell? Golf balls?
What's that?
Clubs?
Yeah.
Good.
Clubs,
like a Tiger Woods golf ball. What would that be worth?
Divots.
Signed and used in a game, in a match. You can go for a couple $100, maybe even up to $1,000, depending if it's used in the Masters. You haven't seen a lot of game
Did you know Mickey Mantle?
What's that?
Did you know Mickey Mantle when he was alive?
Of course. Did a bunch of signings with him, had a good relationship with him. I loved Mickey.
Because we used to insure him. Well, I used to be an insurance adjuster, and he used to offer everybody in our office if we wanted autographed balls, right? And he wanted $100 a piece back then. If I only had known, everybody was buying the Mickey Mantle baseballs, he would really sign them.
Well, I'll tell you a quick story. I went home. I told my wife that I was going to take out, this is true, $30,000. Mickey was signing for $25 a ball.
Right.
And the ball was $5.
Right.
So I was going to do 1,000 balls. And my wife's like, if you go to that bank account, I will cut your arm off. That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. And those 1,000 balls would have been worth about basically $750,000.
Sure.
Yeah. So that was a mistake. But, Mickey was a very generous signer. Loved fans, loved to give people what they wanted with inscriptions. And he was a big part of the autograph business and what it is today. I don't think he gets enough credit, and had an incredible autograph. Him and Mariano Rivera are my 2 favorite autographs of all time.
They took their time with it. Not like the guys.
They cared about the autograph. They cared about what they were giving you. And another guy who does a good job was Joe Namath, too. Those are my 3 favorite.
Joe Namath?
Joe Namath always spelled out both names and gave you a nice big autograph and was proud to give it to you and wanted you to get the right thing. So I'm really excited. What's funny is if you're a Yankee, we're doing a really big auction right now with a lot of Jeter, so even you can bid. A lot of Jeter stuff, game used glove, and a whole bunch of game used A-Rod stuff, a bunch of hockey stuff. You just go to bidcx.com.
Bid.
If you're out there and you're a little
yeah,
bored,
bid.
you won't be bored. You'll go through memory lane on this auction. It's unbelievable.
Brandon, was that bidcx.com?
Yeah, it's collectible exchange, but to go right to the auction, bidcx.com. Now, remember, if you're out there and you have something you want to sell, we have a marketplace, so we help you sell your product as long as it's authenticated, or we'll help you get it authenticated. But we have 50,000 items on the site, so you'll never be bored when you go in there. You're looking for cool stuff.
Right.
Here's a good question. You said authenticated. If I catch a home run ball at Citi Field, let's say somebody's 300th homer, is there any way to get that authenticated?
It's difficult. On a highlight, sometimes MLB marks the balls ahead of time if there's a big moment coming up. But if not, it's kind of tricky to get those things authenticated. I've always suggested to many teams to have an authenticator at the ballpark so that when people do, and then mark the balls before the game. So when people do catch balls, you may not be, you can at least go to that person, pay a small fee and get it authenticated and put it in a case, that kind of thing. But I wasn't able to put that in play. I did a lot of things like selling the bases. You remove the base off the field, you bring it right into the stands, you could buy the base. You were able to buy game-used balls, but not the foul balls. We were never able to get that authentic.
Let me ask you this. We got our big gala coming up April 24th.
Really?
Almost gala. We're doing it online virtually. We've laid out a lot of money during the pandemic for masks initially, for hospital workers. And so we're going to try to raise some money. Is there an item that you can work with us for that event that you think would be just one item that we might do well with?
Yeah, 100%.
So we should talk.
Yeah, I'm 100% donating an item. Maybe I get Mariano to sign a really nice item for you.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'll get something Mariano for you, so that will do well, and hopefully you can raise a lot of money.
Oh, Brandon, that'll be great. All right,
so all you have to do is just email me and then send me the address where to send it. And
all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're
So
welcome.
anything else you want to add about your event?
No, I mean, the auction closes this Sunday, so you go on there and take a look. I tell you what I love about the auction, even if you're not a bidder or an auction person, it's really memory lane. When you go through this auction, there's just some outrageous stuff.
Yeah.
So even if you're not necessarily a collector, you'll love going through it. Some of this stuff is just so outrageous.
Fun, yeah.
It's fun. But all is good here, with my company. I will come back on in a few weeks to announce this new launch of a new site that's going to be a game changer. But I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Give me the biggest item that you think will get the biggest bucks.
Of course, no problem.
What item? No, not for us.
Oh, you mean on the auction?
Yeah.
Well, there's a game-used Jeter glove that it's unbelievable, really nice. There's a couple. There's a Babe Ruth ball. There's some really nice stuff there. There's a couple game-used jerseys. Aaron Judge game-used jersey. I mean, there's some really cool stuff.
Cool. All right. Well, Brandon, thanks for coming on. It's always a pleasure, man.
Of course, man. Be safe.
Thank you.
All right. Be well.
Thanks. You got it.
So they got the big auction coming up. Go on their website. Butch, get me that website again before we go off the air. I'll mention it again. Are we going to go to commercial now, or are we going to bring in our guest? I think we'll go to commercial, right?
Jack, put your phone away. We're having dinner.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing? What can I get you?
You guys want appetizers?
For some reason, I just got a craving for smoked meat.
Well, you ordered something already. The menu hasn't changed. You looked at it 3 times.
I don't know what I want yet.
I wanted chicken, but I think it's blackened, so I'll have burger.
How'd you like that cooked?
Medium.
Do you have any specials? Specials? Boss, what are specials?
What's the matter? You don't know the specials?
Look at this smoke.
What smoke?
We gotta get these dumps clean.
Nah, they're fine.
You know what? We're just gonna take our order to go, okay?
In business since 2003, MCN Duct Cleaning is the result of many years of research and continuing education, realizing the need to provide a safer and cleaner environment for families on Long Island. MCN services both residential and commercial properties by cleaning dryer vents, fireplaces, HVAC systems, and so much more. This not only improves air quality, but it could also reduce your energy bills by making things run more efficiently. So, if you want to make your house or business safer and cut down on your bills in the process, give our friend Matt over at MCN a call now.
that steak well done?
Maybe call a little bit sooner than these guys did.
You know, my son directed that commercial, and that's all the lines he would give me. He thought if I spoke any more than that, I would screw things up. That's all he gave me.
Well, if you ask me, you were the best one on it.
You know what? I'm going to ask you. Who did you think the best one on it was?
Definitely the fireman at the end. He was great. Oh, was that you?
That was me.
Fantastic.
Look who we got on there. We got Kristen Tinsley. Kristen
Tinsley.
First,
How are you?
Tell me about the Nicole Star, because I'm a little confused.
Okay, well, I changed my YouTube because I realized when I was commenting on people's YouTube channels that they could see my first and last name. So I started getting all these really weird friends requests and all this craziness. But I realize now I have to change it back because it's confusing everything. But when you leave a comment on YouTube, on a video, you don't want your first and last name up there. You want something different. So I changed it, but now I have to change it back. So
I don't know if I've ever left a comment on YouTube. I didn't know you could do that. This is how old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes there's cool videos and you just want to say hey, what's up, or whatever, or you want to throw some shade at somebody and you don't want the backlash.
On John's video, it's a good thing you didn't know.
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you.
But I heard you guys talking about horses when I came on before, and I'm laughing because I have 2 horses. I deal with them every single day.
Really?
So yeah, they're pretty big ones. Yeah.
Kristen, listen to me. Yeah. My wife loves horses, not necessarily to ride them, but she just likes to be around them and petted them a little bit. Is there any way that we can work something out where I could surprise my wife and bring her to the horses?
I will bring you to another place where she can actually go, because the horses that are on that property, there's one that's going to be 2 years old. He's not broke. And there's another one that's not broke. So they don't want, and that one is huge. She's probably close to 2,000 pounds.
Let me tell you,
they don't really let anyone on the property, but I can bring you over to, what is it? West Hills, I want to say. Not West Hills.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna definitely.
We will definitely talk. Actually, I would probably like to introduce you to Tony Simonetti, who does, he works with veterans that have PTSD.
Oh.
And he trains horses. He's a former cop. You probably know him.
What's his name?
He's right here. Tony Simonetti.
I don't.
Okay, he trains and breaks a lot of horses. But he does work. And I'm sure that I would love to make that connection because I feel like you guys could do something together.
I would love to shoot a video of Rich Walker breaking one of those horses.
Oh my God! I bet you Tony would love that. Very interesting to watch, but very scary because Tony just gets them I grew up with horses. My dad was a cowboy, so it was,
Oh, how cool.
I had a Western wedding. That's as far as I went. But
Western is my favorite saddle.
The last horse I was on, it actually was, John's joking, it was wild and kicking, stomping, going crazy out of control.
Heard you, and I was like, I would not have liked that.
Thank God the manager came out of Walmart and pulled the plug.
I knew where you were going.
This is why I love you, because you
was a good
always
quarter
around
horse.
something. I can't breathe when I'm around Rich Walker. I can't. I can't breathe when I'm around him.
I was looking for a quarter over here. I knew where you were going. I knew exactly where you were going. All right, Kristen. So you have an interesting background.
Back to seriousness.
Yeah, well, not serious, but you're doing some comedy. You've been doing stand-up for how long?
Very funny.
A little over 2 years. Going on 2 years this summer. Yeah. Wow.
And you have some holistic background here. Tell us about that.
I do. I went to school for holistic nutrition. Specifically studying the area of people that had weight loss surgery, like I did. So during quarantine, I got another weight management certification. So I've just set on this whole path of helping people who are suffering from obesity and people who have had weight loss surgery before or after, helping them. But holistic, the whole body, the mind, the soul, the weight, all of that. So
this may sound ridiculous, but just today, I had my phone on vibrate. Now, lately, I've been a little depressed. I've been a little out of it, a little stressed, all right? Just not hearing my phone ring right? When somebody called me today, just hearing was so therapeutic. Does that make any sense?
It does, actually, because there are certain tones. I think the 417 megahertz on YouTube, it relieves like negative blocks. Just listening to some of those tones in your ear. Actually, if you have a cat, I just heard that like listening to a cat's purr is but sounds do relax you, and maybe that's something that is coming in for you so that you would be able to relax.
Yeah, I need that. I like when Rich Walker purrs. It relaxes me. Rich,
oh God! Well, people listen to MSR and all that stuff, like people's voices. Like there's a whole world out there of interesting audio that you can actually listen to.
Kristen, let me say one thing. It's a whole story. There was a girl I knew that I met, and it's a long story, but I'm going to condense it. She used to have over 100 seizures a day. And when she was a baby, the only thing that soothed her, the mother would put her up in front of Mr. Rogers. That's not a joke. And that was the only time of the day she didn't seizure was during him.
He's soothing.
Well, it was probably because Mr. Rogers was like, I don't know, like a form of the devil. I think he put a spell on people. Because when you watched like Mr. Rogers, you instantly knew how to do something. Like if you didn't know how to tie your shoes and then you watched Mr. Rogers, you knew how to tie your shoes by the end of the episode. If you didn't know how to
I knew how to bake.
You knew how to do it.
One episode. Unbelievable. Now that
I'm convinced that's how Pat Marone became like the best chef on Long Island. He was watching.
You want to do one of your shticks first, one of your bits first?
Yeah, I just came up with a good one today. This is going to be great.
Let's hear it.
So I've uncovered this conspiracy theory because I'm a single woman. This is going to get a little dirty, all right? We don't mind that, right? We're all adults here, right? We don't mind. So I've discovered this conspiracy theory, okay, about COVID, and it's totally brand new, all right? Because I'm a single woman, and I've been noticing that I have not been getting my fair share of dick pics on my messenger. I haven't, okay? Just not
John,
even if I ask. Yeah. Even if I ask a guy that hits me up, like some random guy, he'll just like block and delete me, which is completely unheard of. And then I figured it out. I went on a date with this guy the other night. Things got hot and heavy after the date, naturally, of course. And when he pulled his pants down, his junk was blurred out. You know what he told me? He said, I can't show it to you because my dick is on ransom by somebody. I have to finance my own penis to pay it back. Because here's what happened. During quarantine, the hot and horny Americans, they didn't want to put their mask on. They were tired of the mask. Just, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm going to send a dick pic all natural with their face in it. And then the people just started screenshotting it, right? And now I got a screenshot of your face with your penis. And I'm going to send it to your mother. I'm going to send it to your wife. I'm going to send it to your girlfriend. I'm going to send it to your job. I'm going to send it to your future baby mama and your kindergarten teacher. All for a low price of $10,000. I'm telling you, man. $10,000. Because if you notice another thing, there's a lot of people who are driving around fancy cars on Long Island and buying houses that really shouldn't be. And when you ask them, man, how did you afford that Maserati? How did you afford that Lotus? They don't have an answer. I'm telling you, man. Dick pic ransom. It's the hottest new thing.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. Because everybody's got that extra money, the extra $600. That's why COVID happened. That's why it happened. I'm telling you. Just
I would.
Great bit, but I hate.
Clean it up for me, Rich.
John Larocchia has a very similar bit. He does.
No, that wasn't a bit. That was a private story I told you.
Oh God! That one was a private story that somebody told me today too, and I said this has got to be a bit. I said this has to be a joke, so it's a little rusty, but Rich, there you go.
Nothing is sacred with Rich. Kristen, I would check your text messages. Thank you for coming on, Kristen.
Oh, you're welcome.
Next time we'll have you on for more time.
Holistic spiritual medicine and dick pics.
I'm an intuitive tarot card reader. I'm a stand-up comic. I'm a holistic nutritionist and soon to be a reality show producer. I do everything.
Wow.
And I take care of horses.
Let's
And
hear
I
more
drive-
about, we'll hear more about the reality show next time once it's
Oh, we
cracked.
will.
Kristen, the horse whisperer.
Wrap it up, Butch.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention once again, since Brandon was so nice to us, sounds like he's gonna donate a nice Mariano Rivera glove or item for us. Bidcx.com. Bidcx.com. That is the website to go check out for all those cool autographed items.
Thank you, Ruben Kincaid. We appreciate you repeating that. Kristen, thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
Rich, always a pleasure. Always do a great job. Butch, great job tonight. Bobby, thank you, back in the studio. We'll see you next week. I'll be in the hotel room next week. Good night, everybody. Wear your masks.
Thanks for having us.
Shots.
Great
Thank
job,
you,
Kristen.
John. Bye, Rich.
Good night.
Bye, Kristen.
Night.
Bye.
Is the story.
Thanks, guys.
Lovely lady.
Old leather gloves were slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts were working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick, was chasing the beer that circled the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall. Play ball, play ball.